Hey, this is Ciderhelm, and welcome to the Vainglory Hero Spotlight. Today we're going to look at Joule, an energetic street kid who's taken charge of a powerful war machine. Joule is a melee fighter who excels in the front lines of combat. Built to take damage and dish it out, she can stand her ground against even the mightiest enemies. Joule's heavy plating perk reduces damage when she's attacked from the front and sides. This damage reduction is effective against basic attacks, but does not work against hero abilities. When Joule activates her rocket leap, her war machine launches into the air before slamming down on a target location. Enemies underneath her when she lands are stunned and take full crystal damage, while enemies near the impact are knocked back and take reduced crystal damage. Rocket leap can go over walls and reveals enemies in the targeted area during flight. The overdrive on this ability dramatically reduces its cooldown, allowing it to be used more frequently. I recommend learning rocket leap at level 2, then leveling it last. Joule's Thunderstrike instantly deals crystal and weapon damage to all enemies in front of her. Additionally, Thunderstrike resets Joule's basic attack timer, meaning she can use it after landing a basic attack to immediately attack again. Thunderstrike has a very short cooldown, and it amps up with each consecutive strike against enemies. Each stack of this bonus increases the damage and energy cost of the following Thunderstrike. The bonus is lost if Joule fails to land her Thunderstrike on an enemy. She will also lose the bonus if she's stunned, giving opponents an opportunity to turn the tide back in their favor. Hitting a turret with Thunderstrike will not cause her to lose the bonus, but take note that it doesn't count as a successful hit. The bonus will still wear off unless Joule also hits other enemies. Thunderstrike has a unique overdrive that allows the weapon damage on the ability to critically strike. Beyond this, the overdrive substantially increases the damage from the stacking bonus. I recommend learning Thunderstrike at level 1, then maxing it early. Joule's ultimate, Big Red Button, fires a massive particle beam that deals damage to all enemies in its path. The force of this beam is so great that Joule is pushed backwards while channeling. The particle beam deals its damage over its duration, meaning enemies who quickly move out of its path will not take the full damage. In most matches, I recommend learning and upgrading her ultimate whenever it's available. When it comes to items, I recommend you build an early Void Battery regardless of whether you're going weapon or crystal, as this will allow you to sustain your Thunderstrike much longer during fights. For weapon builds, I recommend building Sorrowblade and Tyrant's Monocle. When you're ready, upgrade your Void Battery to a Frostburn to allow you to stick to opponents. For crystal builds, I recommend an Eve of Harvest and Aftershock, as well as either an Aegis or Metal Jacket. These have strong synergy with her heavy plating perk and will allow you to hold your own even in the most dangerous fights. Without items, I can reset my basic attack by casting Thunderstrike every second fresh basic attack. But when I add an Aftershock, I bring the cooldown low enough that I can activate it after only a single fresh basic attack. Now let's pick up a Frostburn. Every Thunderstrike will apply Frostburn slow to an opponent. However, when we add an Aftershock to the Frostburn, the Thunderstrike only applies Frostburn on every second activation. This happens because we're now able to use Thunderstrike faster than Frostburn can be reapplied to opponents. Frostburn and Aftershock are both great items for Joule, but be aware of their limitations when they're in the same build. When laning, use Thunderstrike to harass and even zone opponents who move into last hit. Beyond this, Thunderstrike is also great for finishing off minions, though you should usually try not to hit too many minions at once, as it can allow your own minions to push further into the lane. Pushing too far will leave you vulnerable while letting the enemy laner stay safe under the protection of their turret. But pushing the lane intentionally can be a smart move so long as you're taking advantage of this by roaming into the jungle to help your teammates. Without energy, you won't pose a threat to opponents and can easily be ganked or bullied out of the lane. Because of this, it's a good idea to have a teammate cover the lane briefly once you've got the gold for a Void Battery. Joule plays very well as a jungler as well, though there's some nuance to keeping your Thunderstrike bonus rolling. Watch as I pull this monster to the edge of its range, then finish it off with a Thunderstrike. By doing this, I'm able to make it to the next jungle camp with enough time to land a basic attack and use Thunderstrike's attack reset. Because Rocket Leap can go over walls and does not require a target, Joule is firmly in the top tier of mobility. While its cooldown is available, she can take more risks as she'll often have a way to escape. For this reason, I recommend roaming and invading with Joule whenever there's a good opportunity, regardless of whether you're laning or jungling. Joule's ultimate is much easier to land when enemies are grouped in tight areas or when they're attempting to flee and only have a single escape route. Big Red Button is useful for long-range sniping, but don't underestimate its value in close combat. Most attackers have no way of getting behind Joule when she's backing up, and they must either choose to continue attacking or get out of the beam. One more thing, with Joule's release we also made a big change to Vainglory that allows abilities to deal damage to turrets. When you're aiming your ultimate, consider whether there's an opportunity to intersect both your target and a vulnerable enemy turret. Thanks for watching Vainglory's first ever Hero Spotlight. Make sure to check out the App Store as we continue our global rollout this October so you can join us on the battlefield.